So this morning we headed out of Exmouth, and so we've been on the Exmouth Peninsula now for just over a month. Just on 3 weeks at Ballara, and then a week or so back in Exmouth and at Cape Range National Park. And as always, Exmouth didn't disappoint. It was just beautiful there, and you'll see some of that footage of us snorkeling on the reef and paddling out there in the lagoon. Absolutely beautiful. So we're on the road now to Kennedy Range. We're going to go back there again. We've still got a few days to kill before we have to be down at Kalbarri in the national park. So we're going to have a couple of days at Kennedy Range, and then slowly head down the inland road, and then cut back on, I think it's called Butcher's Track, and cut back to Shark Bay for a couple of days, and then from there head down to Kalbarri. So just pulled over for some lunch on the road to Rocky Pool, 4 kilometres that way, but as you can see, well, you might not be able to see it, there's a fair bit of water on the road, so we decided we wouldn't push all the way down there. We'll just pull over here and have some lunch. And then it's about another 150k into Gascoyne Junction, and then we'll see how we go for time. We'll either stay at Gascoyne Junction tonight or push all the way through to the Kennedy Range campsite, which is only about 60k from Gascoyne Junction. Anyway, time for lunch. So the chef has delivered lunch. She's got cheese and mortadella on a cracker. And here's a tip for you. We've discovered that sourdough bread rolls last a long time. So we had them for a week, 7 days. 7 days, and they were still, I won't say totally fresh, but certainly fresh enough to eat. So sourdough bread rolls. If you're looking for something that lasts a little bit longer than normal bread rolls, give them a try. So this morning we're doing the escarpment trail up to the top of the ridge. So heading up there somewhere, 2.6 kilometres, and we've done it before, it's not too bad. First kilometre is scrambling up the rocks, and then after that it's a beautiful walk along the top of the ridge. Just about half a kilometre into it. This is where it gets a little bit scrambly up over the rocks as you're getting up towards the top of the ridge. And then you're at the top. So it's just 1k from the campsite up through the gorge to the top. And now it's just a nice little stroll along the top of the ridge. Pretty good view. See down to the campsite. End of the trail. Now there you go, you can see our caravan down there now. Puffing a bit now. We're in Honeycomb Gorge now. It's only a short one again. Couple of kilometres, but there's a fair bit of scrambling up these rocks, which is why I'm puffing. A lot more birds in here than the other place. Must be a bit of water up the end here somewhere. It's a beautiful gorge. The rock formations and colours in the rocks are just stunning. End of trail. Little swimming hole there. Not quite enough to tempt us in though.
Not for me.
I'm just saying, it's not as green as Butterfly Gorge was, but yeah, just doesn't have the appeal, unfortunately. So we might pass on the swim and head back. Yeah, with all the rain, have a look at the ants. There's gazillions of them. So I don't know whether they're collecting seeds or drinking water, but certainly very active. Rightio, 1k back to the head of the trail again. Well, we decided that we would extend our stay here at Kennedy Range by another night. It's just such a beautiful, peaceful, tranquil place. And this morning we're just going to do the walk to Honeycomb Gorge, which is, according to the signpost, a 45-minute walk from the Temple Gorge campground. So we're on our way after a slight false start. We got there in the end. And then this afternoon we're thinking about hiking up that cliff. There's a can up on the top of the cliff up there, and one of the other campers, they went for a walk up there yesterday, said that it was relatively easy, so we might do that late this afternoon, do it at sunset. But anyway, we're on our way to Honeycomb Gorge. So what we've figured out is that this trail is actually the escarpment base trail that's mentioned a couple of times, but it's a really lovely walk. Just starting to get into an area where there seems to be a lot more bird life. Interesting to see, there might be a bit of water around here somewhere. But yeah, this trail is really pretty. And I'd say if you did it really early in the morning with the sunlight or the sunrise lining up those cliffs, it would be truly spectacular. What is a bit terrifying is the size of some of the rocks that have come tumbling down from the cliffs. It's quite impressive. You can feel the energy in these rocks. I don't know if you're into that sort of thing, tree hugging, rock hugging, but I reckon you can definitely feel the energy from these sort of things. Final walk into Honeycomb Gorge, and there are so many finches. The trees are literally alive with them. So many birds in here. There it is. See if we can sneak up to this tree to show you the number of birds in this tree. There's millions of them. How cool was that? Temple Gorge.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Honeycomb.
Honeycomb Gorge. So that was Honeycomb Gorge. It was just beautiful in there with all those little birds. So now we're walking back 45 minutes. Took us exactly 45 minutes to get here. Nice leisurely pace. So 45 minutes to get home. Get home, have a coffee. This afternoon we're going to try an assault on the summit. The peak that's on the northern side of Temple Gorge. It's an unofficial hike, but a few people have been up there before, built a can up the top there, and so we're going to try and head up there and have a look. See how we go. Up there somewhere. So it's on the shady side of the hills. So at least it shouldn't be too hot climbing up there. It's 4:30 and we reckon it'll take us an hour and a half to get up and get back down again. Should be down by 6. All going well. Rightio, I reckon in here at least. It's a bit of a struggle, but we're on the ridge. At least it's just 10 metres below me. And that took us 22 minutes. As always, it's more difficult coming down than going up. Slow and steady, lots of loose shaly rocks. It's our final night at Temple Gorge campsite, Flinders. Our final night at the Temple Gorge campsite at the Kennedy National Park. Got the fire pit going.
Is it called the Kennedy National Park?
Kennedy Range National Park. Kennedy Range National Park. Very sad reminder over here of poor little Cleo, who went missing out at the Blowholes, at the Blowholes campsite. Still haven't found her by the looks of it, so it's probably, was that Saturday the 16th?
Yeah.
Yeah, our best wishes. It's really, really sad that. So hopefully they find her safe and well. Rightio, got the fire going. We love a good fire pit. This is a great little communal fire pit, this one. Every night we end up with a bunch of people joining us. We join them, sit around and tell yarns. It's great. Great having a communal fire pit. Makes a big difference. But that's it. That's the end of our 3-day stay at the Kennedy Range, and as always, it hasn't disappointed. It is a really beautiful spot. If you haven't got it on your radar, you need to put it on. It's certainly worth a visit.
What's on the menu?
Tonight we have a Thai-styled chicken laksa.
No.
Chicken stir fry. What's it called? Chicken
Pad Thai.
Pad Thai. Chicken Pad Thai. Over the open fire. Beautiful. How are we going? Going okay. So our chicken Pad Thai is just about ready. A couple of flatbreads just on the heat there as well. And we should be ready to dig in. Is that you?
So much easier to cook than
Not as much fun though.